The year is 2025, Genesis X2. Hungrybox defeats his bracket demon in Wizrobe, hitting the true combo of rest into pop off. If you trace this combo back to its genesis, you'll find the unassuming tech crouch cancel. For those who don't know, crouch cancel partially or completely negates the knockback from attacks, giving you the chance to hit back even harder.
Come on!
How times change. When I started playing, getting hit was never a good thing. That was Isaiah's wisdom.
When asked by those seeking advice, Isaiah responded simply with a phrase which would soon become a mantra: don't get hit.
But now, purposely being hit is integral to winning at a high level. Watch pro Donkey Kong player Junebug. He drops from the top platform directly into crouch, gets the CC, and converts it into Jmook's stock from just 24%. This exemplifies the two big reasons pros get more from crouch cancel: dynamic movement into it, and optimal punish out of it. While beginner players understand holding down is amazing in Melee, Rivals, and P+, their execution is one note, telegraphing their crouch and spamming the C-stick. But there's so much more that goes into the microcosm of the meta that is crouch cancel. So let's talk about the devastating advantage crouch cancel yields, and the constant threat holding down imposes. Think about the Fox matchup for a second. For almost all of these high-tier characters, grab leads to their best punish against Fox. Whether it's chain grabs, tech chases, juggles, or hit confirms, KOs off grab are a dime a dozen. That's why it's one of the most common punishes out of CC by top players. And even though it's easy, I'm always impressed when someone does crouch cancel grab, because it's really not that common by the broader player base. Now, to be fair, if I told you grab out of crouch was as simple as hitting Z while holding down, I'd be lying. Yep, in P+ and Melee, when you hold down and hit Z, you actually get down tilt. And even if you let go of down and then hit Z, you'll still get jab for a number of frames. So how do you grab out of crouch? Well, there's a few different ways, and each have their own use cases. They are jump cancel grab, shield grab, walk grab, and dash grab. So jump cancel grab is typically used as a faster way to grab out of dash. You do it by pressing Z within a short window called jump squat, and since you can jump out of crouch, you can grab out of crouch. Now shield grab is done with shield plus A, and has a bit of a reputation as a scrubby habit.
He shield grabbed and I wasn't even there.
But like jump cancel grab, it unlocks crouch cancel grab. Check this out. If you slow down this famous crouch cancel grab, you can see Jmook's shield flash for 1 frame. By the way, if you think 150 is the highest you can CC down tilt, it's not. So when it comes to crouch, jump cancel grab and shield grab practically do the same thing, which is let you grab in place. It's a reliable way to cover neutral get up after a missed tech. Make sure to close the distance and crouch right next to them to give yourself the easiest reaction time. Small optimizations like that really add up. Like, look at this tiny walk Traplord does after dash attack, just to be in that much better of a position to cover the tech options.
Oh God!
After a missed tech, if they use get up attack or roll, you usually have to dash out of crouch to grab them. If your character has a fast dash or dash attack, and especially if it has a fast boost grab or Dakus, which are ways to cancel dash attack into grab and up smash respectively, you can reach way far out and even cover spaced attacks on crouch, like Marth Tipper Fair into retreating dashback. Unfortunately, dash out of crouch is not the easiest tech in Melee. It's gotten better with UCF's latest release, but only having 2 frames to move the stick from down to the side will always be a tight timing. It's so good though. Beyond its utility for CC, it enhances your movement drastically by extending your dash dance range. This is known as the Cactuar dash. Even though it's still a hard tech, we've come a long way from vanilla Melee. And fixing that is one of the quality of life improvements in Rivals and P+, that makes me such a huge fan of those games. Now for the next movement option out of crouch, consider that when you get hit in plat fighters, you face the direction that you were hit from. This means if you CC a cross-up aerial, they will land behind you. This is when turning around out of crouch is useful. The flip side of facing the way that you're hit is that your opponent can turn you around by hitting you from behind. Something to keep in mind with get up attack. What's crazy is they designed P+ Squirtle's crawl tilt to turn you around because they intended it to be a cross-up, but good players will exploit this by purposely not crossing up so the opponent faces away after CC. Turnaround out of crouch is the same input as walk out of crouch, and it's actually really easy. From down, rotate the stick along the gate to just above an adjacent notch. Be aware that the less forward you angle the stick, the slower you'll walk, which is how run works as well. And check this out, there's actually an angle you can hold that will option select walk out of crouch if you're hit. You might be asking, why walk out of crouch when dash is faster? And there's multiple reasons. For one, the pushback from crouch cancel will sometimes push you to the ledge if you don't counteract it with movement. Buffering walk out of CC keeps you on stage, or otherwise lets you hold your ground. But the main reason walk is so good is that you can do more out of walk than dash. First of all, you can dash out of walk, so it's a contained set. And when you're a little too far away to land a tilt or shine, walk is just the thing you need. That's called microspacing, and it's gotta be my favorite part of the game. It's so good for Falco with his stubby shine and down tilt. You can still shine the hurt box extension of get up attack, but it's a tight timing, and you start a little further away after shine. If you walk while they're still in recovery instead, you'll end up right on top of them when their hitbox is gone. Just watch out for multi-hitting get up attacks. For those, you gotta slightly delay your walk. By the way, you can tell which get-up attack will happen based off which side they're laying on in knockdown. Imagine being nerdy enough to have that memorized. Couldn't be me. All this emphasis on grab out of crouch isn't to say that the best option isn't just to flick the C-stick sometimes. The point is to be deliberate with your choices based off an understanding of what advances your win condition the most. If you have a move that will KO, by all means use that, but often, your best choice is to set up for a combo or edgeguard. And sometimes, it's best not to attack at all, but use movement for a better position instead. That could mean rolling or spot dodging out of multi-hit moves, or to dodge grabs. Look how Cody just dashes to center stage, while Morse is so caught up in the scrap that he up-Bs out his shield. Here's Junebug with another crouch from the top ropes, but he quickly repositions, evading Jmook's relatively safe auto-cancel fair. Cake Assault uses Waveland to set up a walling bear after this floor hug. If you're asking, what's a floor hug? Put a pin in that, we'll get back to it. Jump can be great out of CC to counter continued attacks, or to apply aerial pressure. Like here, after floor hug, I read Olympia was going to jump with another attack, so I dashed out of crouch towards center stage, jumped, and connected with a back air. And you may just want to hold shield out of crouch cancel until you're confident it's safe to take your turn. There's also wave dash back. Use it at the ledge to space around aggressive options out of the corner, or to bait your opponent into a reckless approach. All these options to consider, and I've barely discussed how each character has a unique moveset that takes advantage of crouching in different ways. Unfortunately, I know exactly how that feels.
Yeah. Yeah, put your hand to your forehead, bro. You deserve that one. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I love making out with people's sauce. It's one of my favorite things.
Anyway, figuring out your character's best options out of crouch cancel. Feel free to use the comment section to ask questions or share your character's bread and butter options out of crouch. Crouch cancel is a hit confirm, except they hit you and you hit them harder. So it makes sense that top players view their percentage as a resource to fish for CC, and therefore purposely get hit by their opponent. Characters with fast and short dashes like Sheik, DK, and Pikachu that can move quickly in and out of crouch will force CC by dashing into crouch into their opponent's threatening range. But you can actually do the same thing even if you're not crouching by just holding down. This is called floor hug, and it takes crouch cancel to the next level by letting you cling to the ground in any state, not just crouch. It's all thanks to the magic of ASDI down, the mechanic under the hood that makes crouch cancel work in the first place. You see, crouch literally reduces the knockback you take, but the reason you stick to the ground is that holding down when hit lag ends will ASDI, or automatic smash directional influence, your character slightly downwards to touch the ground, negating knockback. The trade-off is proper crouch canceling works at higher percentages, while ASDI down allows you to be mobile and non-committal. You can ASDI in any direction with the gray stick or the C stick, which takes priority over the gray stick. Although ASDI gives less movement than regular SDI, which can be done multiple times during hit lag by smashing the gray stick in new directions, you can't use SDI to floor hug or tech. But thankfully ASDI is easier anyway, since you can buffer it during dash dancing, attacks, and crouch. Now let me clarify something important for my Rivals players. Because in that game, floor hug works differently. Crouch cancel, denoted by green arrows, is basically the same as in Melee, but ASDI won't floor hug if you hold down too early, more than 4 frames before being hit. In that case, your character will flash red, exposing you as a dirty down holder. Those with tact will receive a blue flash and a pat on the back. If you don't hold down until you're hit, you'll do a third kind of DI, called SSDI, which will floor hug and give blue arrows. Unlike Rivals, in Melee and P+, you can buffer ASDI down for floor hugging the entire time you're dash dancing with C-Stick. That's probably what Cody did here since the gray stick was being used non-stop for this tight dash dance. But I don't recommend holding C-Stick down literally the entire time you're dash dancing because it's more trouble than it's worth. Even on box, where I can easily reach C-Stick down, there's still the issue that I have to release it every time I shield, otherwise I'll spot dodge. And in order to restore the buffer, I have to time it with another input, like dash, wave dash, or aerials. Otherwise, I get down smash. If you've ever driven stick, it's like using the clutch every few seconds while somebody is punching you in the face. Too much for the mental stack. Every time you need to shield Falco's laser, that ruins the buffer. And there's situations like Fox approaching short hop when you don't know if the attack that comes at you will be floor huggable. That's why I think it's better to buffer ASDI down in dash as needed, and not on some 20xx always hold down type beat. That being said, it can lead to some crazy interactions. Dash is one thing, but during attacks it's way more practical to hold down. There's frequent exceptions when SDI in other directions is better, like for drill attacks, and sometimes you would rather be hit in the air than put in an OMS attack situation. But much of the time, when a top player is put in any form of grounded lag, be it for tilts, smash attacks, jabs, grabs, special moves, tech options, landing with aerials, landing with up Bs, spot dodges, rolls, get up attacks, ledge attacks, anything, they're holding down. You have to change the way you think about inputs. Like forward tilt isn't forward plus A, it's forward plus A and down. It's one of those unintuitive things you just have to grind. So try making save states on Uncle Punch, like I'm showing on screen right now. Save states let you practice any situation you want. It's clutch for the ones that don't come up in games very often. If you need more help with this, I'll link a video in the description. Now you can practice all the floor hug tech I discussed in this video. I like a telegraphed setup like Link forward smash to practice ASDI down out of dash. To practice ASDI down out of attacks, you'll want something that can outspace the attack, like an aerial. Remember, to floor hug, you need to hold down on either stick during your attack. This is easiest with down tilt and down smash since you're already holding down to do the attack. But for other moves, like up smash, forward tilt, and up tilt, I find it easiest to use the other stick, whichever one you're not using for the move. Now getting a floor hug is the best case scenario, but much of the time you'll be knocked down, and you'll want to do what is known as an OMS attack. You need to anticipate this based off your percentage and the move hitting you, and whether you're strong armoring with crouch cancel or light armoring with ASDI down. If you just hold down and press the trigger, you'll tech in place, which is good for punishing laggy moves that pop you up like Sheik dash attack and Fox up smash. But if you use both sticks, holding C stick down to ASDI and gray stick diagonally down to tech roll, you greatly increase your survivability. If an attack hits you laterally and you hold down, a lot of the time you don't even have to tech. You can just bounce against the ground and slide off. This happens all the time in tournament. Once you realize it, you can't unsee it. It's highly practical and highly clutch, and just what happens sometimes if you miss your tech while holding down. If you bounce off as Pikachu, you can use up B to cancel all your momentum and return to stage from insanely high percentages. Knowing all these defensive tools, it's no surprise top players feel sturdy and are less afraid of being hit, especially when using options like Shine and Wave Dash, which automatically hold down and are therefore inherently safer. No wonder H-Box has such good results planking around like this. Despite Jigglypuff being the second lightest character in Melee and losing the ability to floor hug at a very low percentage, she still uses crouch more than most because her crouch is so low that it can go under many attacks and even grabs. And since Wave Dash low profiles like crouch, floor hugs like crouch, and even leads directly into crouch, it functions as moving crouch. So H-Box basically has armor the whole time he's on the ground. Here's OKP's Kirby employing a similar strategy. Grounded crouch-centric movement is part of basically every character's neutral game. I love this controlled approach from Falco with intermittent crouching. It's so hard for Kirby to contend with. For years, the meta for Samus has been to play footsies, wave dashing around while walling out with strong tilts and smash attacks, relying on crouch and ASDI down the whole time. Sheik is insanely bursty into crouch and out of crouch, especially with boost grab, and she can low profile just like Jigglypuff. Bowser? In P+, he literally has armor on his crouch. He even has it while crawling, which is super impactful in some matchups. And that's on top of being heavy, which lets you crouch cancel longer than most characters. And more aggressively use your percentage as a resource. Link and Young Link can both shield most of their bodies from projectiles. Pichu makes these cute bubbles when crouching. Snake can do this. Every character approaches crouching in different ways. Figuring out what makes your character special is part of the fun. Before I go, I want to cover a couple more sneaky opportunities to crouch cancel. One thing you can do is feign aggression, so they put out a hitbox to stuff your overextension, but you're actually planning crouch the whole time. We've seen this with Junebug's Tomahawk crouch. The idea is to make them think that you're going to land on the platform or throw out a back air. Another good one is ledge dash into crouch. The last thing they expect you to do in that moment is to just crouch in front of them.
You can just CC that? Okay, good to know.
That's also true for Waveland into crouch. Bring your crouch to them. You know what's really a big brain move? Wiggle out of tumble into crouch. By flicking the stick one time during tumble after hit stun ends, you become actionable again, allowing you to sneakily crouch if done near the ground. The more surprising, the better. Well, that's all for today. If you stayed until the end, you must really like the content, and I'm so grateful that you do, because honestly, making these videos is my favorite thing. My next video will be smaller in scope, so I should be able to release it sooner this time. If you're excited for that, subscribe and click the bell so you can see it as soon as it drops. Until then, enjoy the level up, y'all.